Hey, I'm Alex Pels and own and manage a couple of real popular cover bands in the San Francisco Bay Area. Been working for about 20, 25 years and mainly just working regionally and putting on good, fun shows.
Fantastic.
And me, my name's James Durbin. I'm a 15-year music business veteran, grizzled young veteran of the music industry. And I was on season 10 of American Idol, finished fourth place. Got a bunch of records out, a bunch of hits, bunch of misses, and another hit right here with Metal Mouse. And I be sure not to miss it. So I sing for a
Fantastic.
living, and yeah, I love it. Can't get enough.
Fantastic, gentlemen. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
No worries at all. So, we're here today to talk about what could possibly be the most important and revolutionary brainwashing concept for young children everywhere, brought to you by the new rock parody band called Metal Mouse. So, gentlemen, thanks for joining me to talk about it today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us.
You like that one, Alex?
Definitely here. Brainwashing. Maybe
Well,
just brain cleansing.
Plain cleansing is a lot
yeah.
better. True. But I guess to call
Yeah.
Metal Mouse a rock parody band, it's actually underselling the concept, which is in fact a hard rock heavy metal band that reimagines Disney classics in full glam metal style. Is that a better way to put it?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I like that version better.
I was sort of coming from the viewpoint of being a father myself with a couple of young girls that I just can't get to like heavy metal. So your brainwashing is actually a good thing. I'm going to make them go to sleep listening to it, and hopefully I won't have to ground them as much in future.
Yeah, it's
Have they
all
heard
it's
it
it's
yet?
the same lyrics.
She has actually. I put it on
Have-
for her yesterday. I put the Let It Go on for her while I was doing a bit of research, and her ears actually pricked up, and she came and watched it, which is already a
Nice.
major win.
Hey, James, mission accomplished. We can
Yes.
put it to bed. No, that's you know what? That's amazing to hear because that's our goal. We're trying to make the connection between heavy and Disney. That's what we're trying to do because James and I both love metal. We're both involved in tons of other kinds of music, but we realized that the Disney songs, in addition to just being excellently written by great songwriters, the themes and the chord progressions and everything else just lend themselves to a heavy architecture.
Right. It's one of those ideas
Yeah.
that it's so smacky between the eyes, obviously, that people are saying, like, why didn't I think of that? But I guess you guys are more men of action and ones who just talk a lot and act a little. So good on you.
Well, we definitely talk a lot, but it's we talk a lot, and we are quite in action kind of all the time. I already this I sing in three of the bands that Alex manages, and that's goes into a count of eight for me, eight total
Wow.
bands and projects that I lend my voice to, and
Woo.
yeah, I've been doing a lot of heavy metal in the last 5, 6, well, even longer than that, 8 years. I sang for Quiet Riot for a couple years. Have put out a couple heavy metal albums in the last few years with different projects through Frontiers Records, based in Italy, and uh, and so metal has been seeping through my system, and it's difficult because sometimes there can be such thing as too much metal, a metal overload,
Says who?
and
Says
metal
who?
isn't so much widely accepted by everybody, but here's a perfect way to make it accessible to people, songs they already know, mix in, modern, not modern, but classic 80s hair and pop of its day, and mixed in with this beautiful, just phenomenal arranged music, mostly by Alan Mankman, is just it's a blessing. It's right there, and we're just
It is.
oh,
It is.
we
And
took it.
like we say, it's such an easy concept, but the idea had to come from somewhere. So where were the seeds for Metal Mouse first sown with you guys?
I'll take that one, James.
Okay, thank you.
We were at a rehearsal for our just straight ahead 80s hair metal group thing that we had. And James and I just started humming some music. Like, hey, and it always seemed to me like the theme from Mulan would be like a good heavy sounding thing. And we literally, I remember, James, you were slapping on your knee and you were like, well, I had this idea that Jungle Book went along perfectly with the Trooper. And so it just came out of improvising that way, really.
Right, it's like
And
metal parents everywhere. They're going to love you guys like a Friday night babysitter. It's unreal.
well, and then the payoff is James can sing anything. So anything you throw at him, he puts his stamp on it, but also pays respect to the original, like, and it's such a great balance. So I knew I'm just so excited, James. Hearing you list off your all your stuff you're done, it just like reminds me how lucky we are to have you in our orbit and how possible this concept is. Because you need someone who really gets it and someone who can really fill out those vocal tracks because there's a lot of different stuff going on in the Disney stuff.
It is not easy. It is very, very
Ah,
difficult, even for me, even with my range. It's hard stuff, you know.
Yeah.
You think of like, I want to call her Adele Dazeem, like John Travolta did, but Idina Menzel, the voice of Elsa from Frozen. I mean, she is a monster powerhouse singer. If you put some heavy guitars just under what she does on Let It Go, there's
Oh
your
yeah.
metal song right there. So me having to
Absolutely.
then recreate that, and then other things like putting the Little Mermaid mixed in with like Iron Maiden is it seems easy and
Yep.
concept, but it's not if you're singing it like Bruce Dickinson, you know. It's which is the fun of it. It's really fun to like mix in and be like, okay, I'm gonna sing this like Rob Halford, or I'm gonna sing this like Dio, or you know, and but all like Durbin. So
You really blew me away with all that. And then when you came in with the chorus voices on the Mulan song, there's three other characters who come
yeah, yeah,
in quick sequence. So you basically have to come up with three characters on the fly to sing those three different voices. And I think Nathan Lane is one of them. And they're like classic sounds that we're used to. Not no, I'm thinking of Little Mermaid, but anyway, that just when you did that just live, I was like, this guy's meant to do this stuff. And the thing is, you have the knowledge of the Disney stuff too. So it's like that we
I
have in
do.
common.
I have shelves
Yeah.
full of toys. You know, I love. I'm just a big kid, and I have kids, and my kids love Disney, and I do too, and hopefully this is a way to get some cheaper tickets to go to Disneyland. So.
you know, like
Big fan from there.
I guess a serious professional musician though, James. Like when you
Yeah.
first decided to put yourself into it, like I don't know how to put this. Like, did it sort of feel beneath you a little bit? I guess, like singing someone else's songs for children, like when you're actually a professional musician somewhere else.
I mean,
Nice
the
one.
way that I look at it is, I've been singing other people's music since day one. I started off singing karaoke and hosting karaoke, and then I went to American Idol and I sang other people's songs, and then I sang for Quiet Riot for a couple years. I was singing other people's songs. I was singing Kevin DeBro's songs, and Slade, and and that you know these days I play in a lot of cover and tribute bands and I sing other people's songs. I sing the hell out of other people's songs and
Amen.
people enjoy it, and people know those songs because they're songs that people know and love, and I make a living singing other people's songs, and I bought a house singing other people's songs, and this is just the next step. Singing, you know, it's 80s, it's 90s, it's Disney movies. And the thing is, like, for me and for Alex, I grew up on all these Disney songs. A big
Absolutely.
chunk of our audience also grew up on these Disney songs, and now they're parents and they're showing these movies to their kids. But we're not necessarily like a kids band. We can be. Up until now, we've played in bars and nightclubs and you know conventions and that sort of thing, like to the direct to the consumer. You know, you're out having a bunch of beers with friends. You're having a great night out. You get there early, you see the opening band, boom, Metal Mouse. You know, you didn't know what hit you, and all of a sudden you're singing along to Let It Go with a margarita in your cocktail dress, you know, holding your shoes. So it's a perfect mix. You go back, you tell your kids, you show them the videos, boom, we got a whole new pack of fans.
Well, I
Every
don't know
band's a
you
cover
guys.
band.
I don't know you guys at all, but from that answer you just gave me then, mate, I can already tell you're going to be successful because that was a beautiful answer and from the heart, man. That was really cool.
Thank you.
No worries at
Yeah.
all. So have you prepared yourself for the inevitable day that's going to come when a 6-year-old tries to staunch you out for getting the words wrong to let it go?
No. No, and that's completely fine. It's we make them up on the fly. The fun thing about forgetting words is all the greatest singers forget their words. And if you are so great and you've got all the songs, you have a teleprompter, which we're not at yet. We're not at yet. We're not at yet. So it's good to know the words. Let It Go is a weird one. I'm high functioning autistic, so I've got this like weirdo brain that remembers lyrics. And sometimes I'll just forget the lyrics that I know embedded into my skull at random times. And I'll be like, why did I forget that? I know that like the back of my hand. Hey, what's that? And so I welcome it. I welcome my 3-year-old, almost 4-year-old knows more of the words to Let It Go than I do and can just drop them. And she's just like, ta-da. But me, I've got to practice. I study at the foot of her learning tree.
You better, man, because I can tell you there is no harsher audience in the world than a bunch of 6 to 8-year-olds that think you got their song wrong.
No, they're moms.
Oh, their mum's true.
And we want them all to come, all generations. And that's one thing we realized about this concept too when we started running it is so G-rated. And that is a good thing. It's heavy, but it's G-rated. It's like you really could go play a kid's birthday party with this thing, and it would be like totally appropriate. And one thing we've learned is that everyone loves heavy music. Everyone loves heavy music, like across the board, from the little kid up to grandma. You just got to package it up right.
Mm-hmm.
Damn straight.
There's a lot of great heavy kids bands out there. One in particular that I think of is called Hevasaurus. They're from Finland, I believe, and they're just big walking dinosaurs, and they play full on heavy metal in Finnish, and directly to kids. They're the Wiggles, but they're like monster dinosaurs.
Steve, we need to reach out.
Hevasaurus Metal Mouse collab.
That's sensational.
Keep that in mind.
You sort of touched on this a bit before, guys, but why choose Disney songs to cover? Like, there's a lot of great cartoons with a lot of great musical soundtracks out there. So why specifically focus on Disney? Oh, there is Scooby-Doo.
There's not
Scooby-Doo's
really.
Not Disney.
Not as many as Disney. I mean, Disney.
Not as many.
Scooby-Doo theme in metal. Come on.
You go back to the 60s, you go back to the 50s. I mean, we're not going to touch some of the riskier material, but there's, we can go back as far as Zippity Doodah. Like, if we're being real, I mean, every Disney movie that there's been, and there's been one a year or 2 a year since, the 60s, we can pick anything, It's just
material,
it's
content.
And especially when you get to the 90s and you've got Little Mermaid and Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin and that's just like 3 of them, and then you got Hercules, and then you got Tarzan, you got Mulan. Like, it just keeps going and going, and we're picking one song from each of them. We could dip even further and do more and do more and do more.
We've only scratched the surface, barely scratched the surface.
Barely, yeah.
Nice.
But it's also seeing what songs they, blend with, what heavy metal songs we can pull in, what's something that's catchy to the ear that people are going to hear, and they're going to be like, oh, are they playing Megadeth? And then it launches into You've Got a Friend in Me from Toy Story. Like, is that Megadeth? Nope. No, it's not.
And that's Pixar's too, Toy Story, so you can't be singing that one.
Hey, Disney's Pixar.
Oh yeah.
And we're not talking Brave. Brave was just Pixar, so
you have got children.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have to actually get permission from Disney to do something like this?
We are operating under a thing called nominative fair use. And yes, I got that from my lawyer, because the first thing we had to do when we worked up 4 or 5 of these songs and started trying them out live was like, okay, now what? Are we going to get shut down? So we had to get a lawyer and copyright lawyer in LA. Kia Cameron's his name, and he's like, I looked at his resume. He's like definitely a big shot guy, but spent exactly 30 minutes with me and just said, you guys are good. You're fine as long as you don't use Disney in the name of the act, like the Disney nuts or whatever. You can actually use Disney in the description, but not in the name. And steering clear of really dead on like visual trademarks. So if all the guys were dressed as the current Disney, the current Mickey Mouse, with his yellow gloves, or James, you can I forget what the difference is, but
Red shorts,
so right now,
yellow boots, white gloves.
Yeah, yellow boots. So right now the guys are just vaguely characters from some Disney things, but also historical characters. So they're not ones that like Disney directly owns. So yeah, they haven't tracked us down yet. But this lawyer guy also said, he said, if you get their attention, you're winning. If they come try to shut you down, that means you're winning. So maybe don't worry about it too much. So.
What's the actual selection criteria for toughening up these Disney songs? Like, I can picture a group of 6 to 8 year olds being locked in a room while being subjected to demos is a great idea, but somehow I don't think it would work in reality.
We just test them out live.
Right.
We figure them out. We take hits. We take the biggest hits. Everybody knows the Disney hits, and then we pull in, Van Halen's biggest hits, and we mix those in. Or we pull in, Iron Maiden's biggest hits. We mix those in. Luckily, we have a really phenomenal band, especially our guitar player, Josh Kraft is he's a crafty one. It's in the name, but it's with a K, so it's his own. It's distinctly Joshy Kraft. We were playing our Let It Go mixed in with Bon Jovi's Runaway, mixed in with Don't Stop Believing, and he's also throwing in Sweet Child of Mine on the fly, just writing parts on the fly at a sold-out show on our grand finale. And it works so well because of the team that we have and the musicians that we have, and everybody is highly capable musicians. Our keyboard player, Greg Oos, is phenomenal. Again, picking up parts on the fly. And Dan, aka Tug, on the bass, and Kirk on the drums, and it's a phenomenal just a phenomenal group. It's just
everyone gets the assignment.
Yeah,
yeah,
and they bring things to the table. Yeah, without being asked, they provide.
I like your clever use of the word "and" then as well when you forgot their names. Like, you rolled "and" out a few times while you were thinking to stall off. Very well done. Very professional.
Well, I was confused on stage name or real name. I call everybody by their old stage names, which isn't copacetic to the current.
I think you did like half stage names and half real names, so we might have to edit that.
It's been a long day.
It has been.
Yeah, just to be clear. You mentioned 6-year-olds as a test market. Our dream demo is like a 28-year-old woman, 28 to 30 or 32-year-old woman, because they're the ones that make the live music scene go. Because they have to be on board with the husband or the boyfriend. Like, hey, I want to come see this band. They're like, okay, and they got money, they got jobs, they got old enough to have a little money. And then they get to the show and they're like, okay, I like hard rock music too, like my boyfriend does, and he's rocking out. But then they hear the Disney part come in and they're like, what? And they literally like drop their drinks. And I've seen it happen. I'm out in the crowd in all these shows and I'm like, this is the demo. 25 to 35-year-old women. And they pay for the tickets. They just make everything happen in the club music scene. So that's who we're going for. But we will reach out to whoever.
That's when you hit them with the mouse ears headband.
Oh yeah.
Those out. And we have a whole sea of mice. metal mice.
Oh,
yes. Yeah, we need to come up with a name for the groupies or the fan club.
Yeah, Mouseketeers is copywritten, so
I think that's taken. Yeah.
Musketeers, isn't they?
Mouseketeers.
Mike's
Ah.
guitar.
It's close.
Now, speaking of live, guys, what does a live show from Metal Mouse look, sound, and feel like?
Hit 'em, Lou.
Looks amazing and different than anything you've seen, but also familiar to you. You see some visual cues. Sounds huge from the first note. Feels like something fresh, that you're expect, like I was saying before, you expect one thing and you get another thing. You're like, oh, okay. And then it's like just a beautiful thing wrapped in another thing that we're all kind of used to. And yeah. Look, sounds, and feels. That's what you said, right?
Mm-hmm. And you got a live show
Yeah.
coming up this weekend, I believe, that people can come see for themselves.
We don't actually. That one is now delayed until the middle of June. June 21st is the next show for this band at the Ace of Spades in Sacramento.
California.
Right, a bit far for me to come, but anyone over that side of the world, get amongst it.
It's interesting because it is a kind of known as a metal venue, right, James?
Yeah. I headlined there with Quiet Riot once upon a time, and have played there a bunch with some of our other bands, Mustache Harbor and Tainted Love.
Yeah.
And it's one of my favorite venues, and just that market. I mean, that's where they have the world famous Aftershock Metal Festival.
Okay.
I went and saw Judas Priest there this summer, and my old buddies in Priest and Iron Maiden headlining together, separate stages, one after the other, which was pretty amazing. I think if they're ready for that, then they're definitely ready to get hit in the face with some Metal Mouse. June 21st.
Hell yeah. And did you think you're ever going to release these songs as an album? Like, it worked for the Chipmunks album and the Chipmunks back in the day, so there's no reason why it couldn't work again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You've had the album too, eh?
Oh yeah.
That's another
Great
level.
album.
So, according to the legal minds, the recordings are a whole nother thing that obviously you gotta pay for some rights and that kind of thing. And so we're not getting into recorded stuff anytime soon. We're here to fill some seats.
Nice. And speaking of that, where can people find out more information about you guys and what you're up to?
Want to take it, James?
Yeah, that'll be on our Instagram page at Metal Mouse Band, and the same goes for YouTube at Metal Mouse Band. Check us out there. We've got, as you saw, we're putting some super cuts from footage from all of our shows. We film all of our shows. Alex films all of our shows in the crowd and multicam, and so we're getting those all edited up and put up online on YouTube and on our Instagram page. So check it out there.
Fantastic, guys. Well, thanks very much for the chat today. A very interesting concept, guys. Hopefully it makes it over to Australia one day and I can throw my kids at you and you can see how they go.
Hey, absolutely. I've been getting begged to go to Australia for 15 years since American Idol and haven't had a chance to do so yet. So